Right, 9 June 2020, and today I want to give you an update on Elias Mudzuri. He is the acting vice chairman of the MDCT. Today he started his campaign and he came out guns blazing. So Mudzuri appeared at an interview at Sly Media online, that is on Facebook, and he was alone for the first time. And he took the opportunity to slam Nelson Chamisa, Thokozani Khuphe, Douglas Mwonzora, everybody that you could find. He slammed them and then he laid out his credentials. So the campaign for the Extraordinary Congress that is going to be happening on 31 July has started. And Mudzuri thinks he's the right man to be president and the rest of the people are pretenders. So let me show you what he said about Nelson Chamisa, about Mwonzora, about Khuphe. Then I'll show you how he laid out his credentials. And then I'll give you my opinion on whether Mudzuri is the right man to be the MDCT president. So the first thing I want to tell you is that Mudzuri was educated at Harvard. So he mentioned that he was the former mayor of Harare. He did very well as the former mayor of Harare. In fact, at that time I was living in Harare. The roads in Harare were so good, ZANU-PF had to fire him. So that is what he's known for. He fixed Harare and the engineering was done very, very well. So he mentioned that and he spent a lot of time talking about that. But let me tell you what he said about Nelson Chamisa. Firstly, he said Chamisa is scared of elections. He has support nationally, as was seen during the elections, but maybe he doesn't have support in the structures. So Chamisa is afraid of going to the Extraordinary Congress for that reason. So he also mentioned that everyone has their support, meaning himself, he's got support within the party, and the people in the party, in the structures, are the ones that do the electing. He says Chamisa does not consult. He's a demagogue. That is, he does his own thing. If he is doing something, he doesn't talk to anybody else. Then he said Chamisa pretends to be a pastor, but when he's wrong, he does not apologize. Then he said Chamisa does not follow the party constitution. He's probably worse than ZANU-PF because he also uses violence. Right, now I want to go to two stories that Mudzuri told, which is the first one. He said that in Gweru, during the MDC Congress, he went into Tendai Biti's car with Chamisa and explained that Chamisa must stop rigging the elections because people were switching off the elections. It was taking 2 days for one province to vote because they were not towing the line. They were not doing what Chamisa wanted. So he says he went into a car with Tendai Biti and Chamisa and told him to stop doing that. But Chamisa did not listen. Then secondly, he said when the Supreme Court ruling came out, he called all the leaders, including Chamisa, to come to discuss the ruling. But Chamisa ignored him. Right. So that is on Chamisa. He said a lot. The interview is 1 hour something, 1 hour and 2 minutes. You can go and watch that interview on Sly Media, on their Facebook or on their YouTube. Then on Khuphe, he talked about Thokozani Khuphe in a very smart way because Thokozani Khuphe is the current president. So he says Thokozani Khuphe lacks capacity. She will find out that when she goes into the position which she thinks she's able to go into, she lacks capacity. And he said he said Tsvangirai had confided in him that he knows that Khuphe lacks capacity. She is better at administrative tasks. So that's what Tsvangirai told Mudzuri. That's what Mudzuri said. Right, let's go on Mwonzora. On Mwonzora, he says Mwonzora lacks negotiating skills. He's too focused on being correct. And he gave an example of when the MP recalls were done. He's saying Mwonzora didn't talk to anyone. He just went ahead because he was legally correct. But he didn't talk to anybody. He should have at least talked to people. But Mwonzora did not do that. He does not have those skills to talk to people. That is what Mudzuri said. Right, now let's look at the credentials. Mudzuri says Tsvangirai left him the party. He said, you must lead this party and unite it because Chamisa and Khuphe are factionalists. They are in factions. So you are the only person who is not power hungry. You must lead this party and unite it. That is what he said, Tsvangirai told him. Then in terms of credentials, I already mentioned that Mudzuri went to Harvard. Mudzuri also said he led the city of Harare very, very well, and he's got skills. That is political and governance skills and social skills he will be able to deliver. Whereas some of the other people, for example, Chamisa, for example, Khuphe, they do not have that track record. Right. Mudzuri said his home in Zaka was bombed or was shot at by Mugabe soldiers. And this happened because he led the campaign for MDC in 2008 when Morgan Tsvangirai won. So he was the organizing secretary. So he's got the necessary skills to win elections. Right. Can I also mention that Mudzuri is a war veteran and he has got a father figure look. So when you look at Mudzuri, he's got that teddy bear father look. He's almost someone who you can go to and talk to without fear of approaching him. So he's approachable. And he's also well known, especially in Harare, where he was mayor. So he's not new. He knows the politics, he knows the MDC from the very beginning. He knows people in the structures. So he's got strengths. Definitely he's got strengths. Right, what are the cons of Mudzuri? What is against Mudzuri? Age. Mudzuri is very old. He's probably the oldest candidate. And he did mention that. He's got that agreeable character. So let's go to this. He's got that agreeable character that is quite annoying to young people, that he wants to hear everybody out. Young people want things to happen. And Mudzuri is the kind of person that will say, what do we do? He's going to think about things. But young people want to hear slogans. They want to hear action. They want to hear movement. And I don't know if Mudzuri is going to be able to inspire young people. So my verdict is that in an open, free and fair election, Mudzuri is probably going to beat Thokozani Khuphe, but he's going to lose to Douglas Mwonzora or Nelson Chamisa. So this is interesting because the campaigning has started. The elections is in July, which is end of the month, July next month. We are almost 6 weeks away. And Mwonzora obviously has been doing a lot of campaigning. Thokozani Khuphe has been quiet. So let's see what happens. Let's see how the other people respond. But this is where we are. Mudzuri has said to these guys, I can be president and you guys don't need to be even worried about going because I am the right man for this job. He also mentioned that Thokozani Khuphe went to Stanley Square and did her own congress, and she's coming back to the party because she's decided to come back. But he knows that she did go and do that. But she's only back because of the Supreme Court. But he said he's not a member of Thokozani Khuphe's party. He made that clear. He is in the original MDC T, and the T was only there for election purposes. He's in the original MDC, and he would not allow the party to be stolen. So this is it. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching on WhatsApp, please send to as many people as possible. If you're watching on Facebook and YouTube, please like, comment, and share.